Okay, so we've got these two main antennas, and then we have, of course, we're going to need some mounts for these antennas, and particularly the shadow in this case, because this one pretty much comes pretty much ready to go. It has the mount on it, that sort of thing.
Everything is included with the Overlander.
Right.
The Overlander is a little on the pricey side at $159.99. So you do get everything you need in the package. You get a mount with U-bolts in the package, but use it or don't use it. It's going to vary with your installation. With the Shadow, you're going to need a mount. Mount not included, and with NMO, there's so many different mount varieties. There's magnetic mount. And then there's a large and a small magnetic mount that we have under the Melowave brand. With the Shadow, you would only need the smaller one. I think it's a 3.5 inch instead of the 4.5 inch.
I think so. But and once again, as you were just saying, we've got those two mounts. So we have a couple of NMO mag mounts in two sizes, and we have a lip mount. We have a trunk lip mount. No installation needed. You just hook it on the lip of your trunk, and you're ready to go.
That's my favorite mount, by the way. That's the one that I tell people to go with most of the time, because it's not a difficult mount to install, and it's less noticeable than a mag mount. A mag mount, you're always going to have a little bit of visible cable coming out, and the lip mount, you can put it under the edge of your hood or trunk.
Yeah, and you can remove it and move it to another vehicle if you need to. Then we also have, for those who love to drill holes in their vehicle, we have the hole mounts.
We know you're
as well.
out there.
There are some people who just have to drill holes in their vehicles. So there's something for everybody here.
And hold on now, the hole mount, we like to say you're drilling holes in your vehicle, but there are other mounts you can get that like a bracket mount, which we do have one that the hole mount will install into. So there may be some uses for a hole mount other than
just
breaking out the drill on the new Tesla.
All right, so we have the mounts. We have some studs, NMO to UHF and NMO to N.
The studs are just tiny, like short little, 2-inch long adapters, basically, with a nut that lets you screw them into a bracket of some type that you would have a hole, a size for a hole mount. But it's NMO on one side, and then we have two of them. We have a UHF and an N.
Right.
But what this allows you to do, we have very high quality coax. We have very high quality coax on our mounts in general, like our lip mount, hole mounts, all the mounts we've been talking about that include cable. We've upgraded the cable to CFD 200 style cable. And
you touched on it earlier, but we didn't really go that in depth on why it is higher quality cable. And that has a lot to do with the fact that it is it's less than half of the loss.
We looked at what is available now as far as mounts go. And overwhelmingly, the mounts that are available now use RG58 type cable, which is fine cable.
But it's a higher loss than this.
But it's almost double the loss of CFD 200. And the thickness on the CFD 200 isn't that much greater than RG58. So without giving up,
slightly thicker.
It's a little thicker, but you don't lose very much as far as flexibility with the CFD 200. But you pretty much half the loss going from the RG58.
So this is still very, very easy to say run through your vehicle without too much trouble. It's not like you're running through LMR 400 or something.
I can't think of many cases where RG58 would be perfect for you, but CFD 200 would be too much.
Yeah.
You definitely want the CFD 200. But where I was going with the studs, if CFD 200 isn't good enough for what you want, let's say you have a very long run and you want to put in some super high quality cable, like maybe some Messi and Poloni 10 millimeter or 7 millimeter cable, which would be super high quality. You can use those studs and just connect the cable of your choice Like maybe get a Messi and Poloni cable with a 90-degree connector, screw it onto the stud, run the cable to your radio. You can get the Messi and Poloni in various lengths that may be very close to exactly what you need, whereas the cable for our mounts are going to be long enough to cover whatever anyone would need. You may only need half the length that we provide. If you went with like a Messi and Poloni style cable, you could get a shorter run that would be exactly what you need, and it would have even better performance than this.
Yeah, you've got some possibilities.
Well, performance is really what we had in mind when we decided what products we wanted to introduce with this line. We're really thinking about GMRS because there's not a lot of GMRS customized products on the market right now. I think you will see us expand to maybe ham antennas in the future. But for now, we've got GMRS and we're concentrating on performance with the specifically tuned for GMRS, the better cable, and we're thinking about those things like the studs that let you increase your performance even more.
And now we've had some pretty good feedback on these products so far. These products have only been out for less than 2 months, and we've had some really good feedback on them so far. People seem to like it.
You know what I like? I like getting on the Facebook groups and seeing them post the photos of their vehicles.
You sent me a couple of those. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that. Seeing the products that we're sitting here talking about and coming up with, and then actually seeing them in use in the real world on a vehicle, it feels great.
And they do look great on those vehicles. And
they do.
Maybe we should have a little contest. Say, hey, send in your pictures and.
I would put it on your absolutely be pick a winner, give you a T-shirt, something like that. Send us your photos of the Mellowave products in use. I'd love to see it.
Maybe that can be one of our
maybe
holiday
we should put
promotions.
them on our social media channels.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
We should do that with the ones that we found on the Facebook groups. Maybe hit those guys up and say, "Do you care if we blast your photo out to everyone in the world?"
So everybody send in your photos. Let's see what these antennas look like on your vehicle.